Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to the Great Discoveries New Course Spotlight. Tim Taylor here, co-CEO. And on this special night, we do this every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, live streamed on YouTube, recorded for your pleasure. This is a great opportunity to get into new and up and coming courses on the Great Discovery Global Education Marketplace. Tonight, we've got an absolutely fantastic session on for you by Mr. Rick Ireton, who's going to be talking about the ChakraKey. This is a new course that he's put up. It goes into a full series of other related content. I'm not going to get in and steal any of his glory. I'm going to sit back and take notes and learn. And let's turn it over to Rick Ireton. Rick, take it away, my friend.
Well, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can. You got you loud and clear.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, I'm so honored to be here. And I thought I might start with just a little background on myself. I'm an inventor. I'm one of those guys that's my brain's always working, and I've been involved in skateboarding and a lot of different fun attractions. But back in 2002, I kind of came up with a problem that, we don't know much about love. And I made a decision to try to figure out love. And that took me to about 2007, where I put together the idea that love comes from the heart and that there's a relationship shown in the chakra system. And so that led me to studying the chakras, which led me further to noticing that there are seven chakras and seven branches on the menorah. And that kind of began my adventure into creating ChakraKey. And what I have prepared here this evening is a presentation for you about that. That that's basically, if you could just imagine yourself driving your car and the battery dies, and you say, "Okay, now what am I going to do?" Well, in a way, we are divine beings in our vehicle, and we have problems going on with our vehicle, and we don't really have a user guide for knowing how to fix things. And then even to understand what's going where and how is it working. And ChakraKey, this symbol, provides us with a blueprint we can use to identify ourselves as different levels of consciousness. And with this understanding, we're empowered by we take power over ourselves as a multidimensional being. And the ChakraKey helps us to do that. And so I prepared for you this evening a PowerPoint presentation that'll kind of take you through it. And this will help you to kind of do your own introspection to be able to recognize your multidimensional nature. So the only requirement here is to be open-minded about this a little bit. And then I would ask you to take some time to feel into yourself, in essence, and see what you find. And if you think about it, of course, it makes sense that we are physical bodies, but our whole expression of life is how we feel. It's our feelings. It's really, there's you can cut your finger or something, but there's nothing quite as hurtful as a broken heart. So this information will help you to understand yourself and your energy body in a new way. That's that's beautiful, because what it shows us is that we're a family of human spiritual beings. We're all made to love, and that we have a new way to understand ourselves as loving beings. And with that understanding, we're able to live in a higher conscious realm. And with that, we're able to manage the body in a loving way. So that being said, let me share my little PowerPoint for you here. Now, are you seeing this okay? Would you like me to make it bigger or something, or you just,
No, it looks great, Rick. You can put it in presentation mode too, though.
how's
There you
that?
go. Perfect.
Okay.
Just like that. That looks great.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say I do call this different things. It is all the self-understanding really helps us unlock our spiritual superpowers, because it's our divine nature that really controls our body and our body of consciousness. So this is a picture of the chakra key. And basically what you're looking at here is a person sitting with the chakras illuminated. And the symbol over the person is a crop circle. And that's one body of information we have about our energetic operation. And shown to the side is the menorah turned sideways. And what the menorah actually becomes is a diagram or blueprint mapping the relationships between the chakras. And what we find when we get into this is that our creators made us to live in balance in all these different ways. Through each chakra has a yin and yang energy, and then each of our chakras is paired with another chakra to bring that energy into balance. And we'll go into that in greater detail. I did want to read this poem because I think this is very telling and it's important for us. The day will come after harnessing space, the winds, the tides, and gravitation. We shall harness for God the energies of love. And on that day, for the second time in the history of the world, we have discovered fire. This is by Pierre Teilhard Chardin. And this gives us a wonderful picture of the importance of having higher conscious awareness and understanding about who we are. I mean, this is the issue we face today is we really are only aware of our lower consciousness, this concept of survival. And without that higher understanding, we're suckers for physicality, physical nature, because it's so powerful. Let me carry on. This is the book I wrote initially. It's called ChakraKey, A Key for Humanity. And in that book in 2013, and it's filled with lots of wonderful information about this finding. But since then, found all kinds of new information that's very significant. And so this will have more of that information. But the idea for us is it's the importance of self-knowledge. That's what really matters for us here. It's the idea that when we know better, we do better. And again, as we get more into it, we see that within our design, there's a competition between our low conscious thinking and high consciousness. And until higher consciousness understands lower consciousness kind of runs rickshaw. We're kind of an expression of our dominant energy. And really, this work is a study of energy. And we can experience that energy. For instance, if you'd like at this point, even to put your hand on your upper heart right here, because this is the upper heart chakra. And we're not so aware of this, but when you put your hand up here, and whether you close your eyes, but what that does, it brings you into bliss and unconditional love. So, and this happens, brings your energy to that point just by touching it. But you can also sing music, and there's frequency that'll activate that area. But just like the center heart chakra is an expression when we laugh. We're laughing. That is the center heart chakra. So we're this multidimensional being, and we experience all these emotions, but we've never had a way to nail it down or to label them. And what we're able to do with this is to basically understand ourselves as these different levels of consciousness. And due to the fact that we are able to come outside of ourself and something called witness consciousness, and even to perform an analysis on ourselves, saying, okay, where are you, Rick? Where's your energy? And we can adjust it just with our thought. So we have a lot of control over our emotions just by virtue of our thoughts. And this is just another picture of the menorah, and the idea that what ChakraKey combines is ancient wisdom of our chakra system, which would include the chakras and then the menorah. Both these symbols are, who knows, 3,500 or 4,000 years old or better. So they're not new. What's new is the crop circle. And what also is new that's not shown here are the frequencies for the chakras. So we're actually able to feel all of our chakras due to a phenomenon known as sympathetic resonance. But this is kind of a new technology, like 1,000 or even 100 years ago. We would not have had the technology that enabled us to actually feel a frequency for a particular chakra. And so this brings modern technology with the old technology so we can better understand, well, basically to provide a scientific basis for understanding who we are. We're all made the same, different shapes, colors, come from different places, but basically we all carry the same energetic design, which is forged in love. And this is just a little talk about the chakras right here as far as basically we are a rainbow of consciousness from red energy associated with the root chakra up to violet. And let me see here. Then part of our confusion is we have a physical body. That's what we see. But what we are is this spiritual energy body. And so this image depicts the energy body that we don't see. But the way that we're made, going back even to here, and this symbol here with the blueprint, the chakra synergy symbol, what it shows is that we are made energetically, so everything comes through our heart chakra. So with this beautiful design, we organically grow in love, whether we're aware of it or not. But with awareness of this, we can choose to be a brighter expression of love just by managing our thoughts and attention. So, and this symbol helps us kind of understand the concept of, we could think of ourselves as a computer system, and we have an operating system with 9 applications, and there's a root application for the root chakra. And this root application has a job to do associated with our survival. So everything associated with survival is in this root area, and it's also grounding. And then the sacral chakra would have to do with sex, pleasure, creativity. The yellow solar plex has to do with our physical power. The light green has to do with our lower heart, which would be, brings up all the energies from our lower chakras into the heart chakra complex. The center heart is our center speaker. And then the upper heart has to do with our bliss, unconditional love. Our throat chakra center has to do with communications. It's also home to our conscience. It's really an important center that we expand our wisdom about. And the brow chakra has to do with our intuition, our ability to see within, to see without. And then the crown chakra has to do with our connection to God, universal consciousness. So we're multidimensional beings. And that's what makes us so amazing. And let me go. And the idea of through understanding who we are, we're able to manage it. And when you're talking about the body, we're talking about energy. And when you're talking about energy, you're talking about physics. And when it comes to energies, the energies you water, the ones that get your attention, are the ones that grow. And so without understanding concept of our energetic centers or higher consciousness or lower consciousness, typically all of our attention and energy goes to watering the lower chakras. And so our low conscious winds up having all this power. So without understanding from the higher consciousness, we become a walking expression of our physical nature. And this is what we want to flip. We want to become a walking expression of our higher consciousness through expanded understanding of our whole system. So that's the idea. And this is a little graphic about the menorah, and just show us to show it. It's not that far of a stretch to, if you understand the chakras, 7 chakra system. You turn the menorah sideways and you've got a 7-branch menorah, how the branches map the relationships of the chakras. And this symbol shows the crop circle and how I noticed that. And that showed up in 2009, and I saw it in 2010. And I was in the graphic business, and I had my artist produce a graphic of the symbol. And then I went from there over to a person sitting. And this symbol kind of shows part of the magic of alchemy, in that here we are in space and time, but we're always in the present time. And so the way we're made is that all of our chakras, everything has got like radar. We're always, everywhere we are, we're thinking, am I safe? Am I fed? So we have all this different information coming in. And so what happens within this design, the lower chakras feed into this lower heart. I call it a crucible, and the upper chakras, higher consciousness, comes into the upper crucible. And so here you've got physical nature, wants and desires, and they bump up against higher consciousness and our ability to perform analysis on them. And then the white area shown around the heart would be kind of like a insulator. And so what's happening at every moment, you've got low consciousness meeting high consciousness in this heart chakra complex, with the dominant energy expressing out of the center heart. And if you think about, for instance, you come across a bear in the woods or someplace, and your natural instincts would say to run. But then you stop and think about it, you go, oh, I can't outrun this guy. That's not going to help me. And so we were made with the ability to be able to bring high conscious reasoning into every moment of our life. And so that's part of this mechanism. So what also this shows is that we have a 9 chakra system. And the thing about the crop circle, it shows shows 7 lines that spin with the lower heart and the heart chakra complex. So that in essence, we're a 7 chakra system with this heart chakra complex that also has two chakras. So there's only 7 chakras that spin, but in essence, we have 9 chakras about our system. And so this is just another picture of this symbol. And just again, the concept about who we are, that everything is energy. And ultimately, this is what everything boils down to in our world, is this concept of understanding how we feel as different levels of energy, the things we say, the things we do, the things that we surround ourselves with, and that with this in mind and with this understanding of our chakras, we're able to consciously choose to live in love. And this is the idea for us, that we would be able to apply high conscious reasoning to have love as our baseline of energy that we operate from. And this is something that's quite simple, really. You don't have to, put your hand on your heart to know that, to maintain your life in a state of love. But that's kind of the idea. And this symbol shows us the relationship between a spectrum of color and a spectrum of frequency. And in essence, we are nature, and we are made as the rainbow. And there's a relationship between the red root color, the letter A, and 432. And one of the courses I have is on the chakra math. And when you go through this, what you find is that there's 168 frequencies, for instance, from the root to the center heart chakra, and from the heart chakra to the crown chakra. So basically, what this puts together is all the math. So we have this deeper understanding of who we are, how we're made. And with that understanding, we're able to better self-regulate. And this is really the idea for us, is self-regulation, because without understanding, and being nature's creatures of habit, and these habits form energy patterns that can bring us out of balance. So we have a new method of living in balance just through understanding our human spiritual nature. And this is the key for us, is to have systems in place that's able to, where we're able to self-check to keep our self regulation and our activity in alignment with who we are. So live from the heart, speak your truth, follow your consciousness, live honorably, big picture thinking, give anxiety to God. Here's where you get into the superpowers of ChakraKey. And I'm not going to have time to go into all those right now, but basically what I found through my own personal life was that anxiety is one of those things that can be crippling. And there's not a pill for it. It never tends to go away if you really have anxiety about a problem or something. But what you can do is you can, through understanding this, you can follow the root to crown on the menorah, and we give anxiety to God. And we can visualize different things for that. We can pray about it. You can visualize a violet flame, a golden orb, a star. But in essence, we have a path, a strategy for dealing with anxiety issues we're facing in life that's very powerful. And we can run the experiment to check it out. And that's what I didn't invite you to do with all this stuff, information, is to run the experiment. And for instance, big picture thinking, ruling our sacral chakra. I mean, some of our chakras are super powerful, like the sacral, because we really like pleasure a lot. And our Creator made it so that the brow chakra would govern the sacral chakra. We get our gut intuition down here. But it's the more we understand strategies for how do I deal with my sacral, especially for a young guy, my testosterone's raging. How do I channel that testosterone into energy or into my creative expression? So super helpful for people that have lower chakra issues. And then having to do with this solar plex and wanting power. What we figure out from this is the solar plex goes to the throat chakra, and our throat chakra has to do with wanting to speak the truth, but it's also our conscience. It's where the golden rule is located. It's the law. We speak the law into the world. This is our force. This is our energetic force of energy. And so we also want to consider this as the virtues of love. So being we're smart and we want to receive love, we put out love. So really the chakra that I feel is so important for us is this throat chakra. So we would expand our understanding of what we speak into the world, what we do, and then the concept of seed planting as far as helping others to find themselves is such a valuable thing for us and for them. Because without understanding, this self-understanding, we're suckers to the lower chakras. And we're suckers to bad ideas, So in a lot of ways, we're just, there's things within our construction. It's like we should have come into the world with a user guide so we could figure this out. So let me carry on here. Well, just the idea, without the ChakraKey, you can't figure out who you are. And the thing about self-realization, without the ChakraKey and this blueprint and this diagrams, we would never intuit our energetic design and figure out that, oh, yep, I'm higher consciousness, and I'm governing lower consciousness, but I don't understand how to do that. With the blueprint, with this, the menorah, with the crop circle, we can use this as paper of map of imagination, even, where we can imagine ourselves and feel into ourselves. And with that imagination, we can manage our mechanism and put it to work for higher consciousness. So we're not slave to our physical, but our physicality is working with higher consciousness in alignment for a greater love and purpose. Yeah, that's where we're going. Well, and then also just the fact that there's a scientific basis to this in that we can experience our chakras when we're in the presence of the precise frequency with your hands. And I would love to do an event with you guys, call it chakra dance, chakra drama. We can act out the chakras or name that chakra. You can actually get to know yourself and feel into your chakras with just a little bit of training. And it's very obvious, actually. See, the veil between knowing and unknowing is quite thin. And once you are in the presence of the proof and little instruction, everything becomes pretty clear. So, well, and this is kind of coming to the end of it. The idea is for that we would align in love and harmony of consciousness as a family of human spiritual beings. And that's really the goal for us, is that we would recognize that we're honorable, loving beings, and that we would have a deeper understanding of one another and ourselves, and that we can use our collective imagination. I mean, I think I've just scratched the surface on this information, that we can ultimately use this to understand ourselves. And then next thing, as we are made so beautifully, we use the same pattern as a template to recreate our social structures within our world. So ultimately, we live in harmony of consciousness with all things. As we are made to love, we make all things. So this becomes a process for rethinking, reimagining who we are on the planet, how we tap into nature, what our priorities become, and then how we are able to be a greater, more positive expression of the divine on the planet. We create things that are a next level of higher consciousness. Now, we're not just building things for low conscious reasoning and possibilities and understanding, but high consciousness. And we appreciate the fact that when I buy something from you, it's an act of love when you buy it from me. So this concept of energy as being something that we share with one another, that when our goal as community is to grow all of the flowers in the garden, and that we're all important, and that ultimately what we want to do is to raise the flowers, to educate everybody so we understand who we are and how we fit into the world. And so I realize I've said a lot. Do you have any questions?
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Rick. Great work on that. Now, what I'd like to do, we're winding up the time on this. I'm going to show everybody how to find Rick's course, so you'll be able to both access it, promote it, and share it with others that are going to be interested in similar content. And then anybody that wants to stay, maybe if you got any questions for Rick, we can pull this up. But just for the benefit of those that are watching live online, let me show you how to actually get to Rick's course. You can go to thegreatdiscovery.com. Just go to your web browser and go thegreatdiscovery.com. And then at the end of that, just put in your username if you're enrolled as an affiliate, a learner, or creator on here. And if you're not a user yet, just get the one of the person that invited you. So type in mine is demo1. I'm going to go and log into the greatdiscovery.com site as a viewer, as just coming in. So you want to come in instead of being logged in, go in as a viewer. We're going to go up here. We can type in ChakraKey. So we've got, here it is right there. Or you can go and also find it with Ireton, with Rick's last name. And either way, it's going to bring you right into his actual course. So we're going to go viewing this as a new customer. You want to see the trailer on that, you can click on that. If you want to view that in another language, you've got it here in French, we've got it in Portuguese, Spanish, English. You can add another language, and you can share that trailer with people in other countries and cultures so that they can learn about Rick's content as well. Now, while we're on here, you can simply copy while this page is open, you want to share this whole course, you can copy your address bar up there, text it to somebody. They're able to find it. You can use this copy link. You can also post the whole offer by simply going to Click on your Facebook tab over here. It will actually open your Facebook page as long as you're logged in. Populate it with a link to that particular course. Most importantly, with your affiliate code involved. So you're on there and all set. So I hope you guys will go in and check out Rick's course. I think you're going to enjoy it. Promote it to like-minded people that are going to be interested in there as well. That's how we get things up and going. That's how we support one another. So Rick, I'm sure will be supporting some of your content. You guys all support what he's got. That's what we do as a team here on The Great Discovery. So with that, we're going to end our session, but I do want to be able to open up and see if anybody has any questions for Rick. Got an open floor, and we'll just go ahead and close out the spotlight there and open up for any questions that anybody has. Any questions for Rick?
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I've never seen the chakras put into the dynamic of the menorah. And I put in the chat, just you said the 9 chakras, and we're talking the sun star and the earth star chakras in addition to the 7.
Well, no, it's the 2 chakras around the heart. We have
Okay.
a complex here. And so there's just 7 chakras that sing. And then they come into the heart. There's really 3 chakras in the heart. So in essence, it's the feminine that controls the masculine. The heart's the yang. So it's the feminine energies that control the masculine expression. That's why it will probably be the woman that transforms our world, because that's what they do. They're the feminine energy, and they have the power.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Very, very good. Gregory, you got your hand up. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for that information. Couple of questions. First of all, Happy New Year. And
Thank you.
secondly, I remember growing up as a kid, we had this ring. It was called the mood ring. So I was
Right.
wondering, does that have anything to do with the energy that we're putting out to change the colors, if you remember that ring back in the day? And my second part of my question is, in order to increase or decrease some of the energy that we're getting, wearing colorful clothes, would that also assist in reflecting our energy?
Well, about the mood ring, there's different quality stones, and I think it's a novelty. I don't know. I think there's any, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion about it. But clothes do matter. Like it's not particularly good to wear black clothes, for instance. I mean, when you look at it from the perspective that we're energy beings, and you could express your heart, I guess, wearing light green, or like if you wear a turquoise necklace, that kind of stimulates your upper heart chakra. So kind of have that turquoise feel to it. But yeah, a lot of it's subtle, but the main thing that I think manages our energy, it's our attention, and just having this ability to come out of ourself and to just manage our energy with our attention by bringing our attention to the heart or upper heart, or communicating or speaking your truth. And our voice is really our power, if you think about it. And so this is something we want to not be wimpy about, and we want to be speaking our truth. This is important, because the thing is, when you're involved in something that's not truthful, I can't speak so it's so well. You lose the power, because that connection from your solar plex to your voice has got a block in it. And there's another thing about blocks and resolves. So there's more than a little bit to this to kind of really figure it out. But ultimately, we don't want to lie, cheat, or steal. That just mucks up our connection to our own heart, to our ability to love and to be an expression of love. That's kind of the main thing. We want to be a vessel of love and kindness. And I think the idea that we're teachers is like one of the greatest things we can do, is to help others find themselves, because it's not fun when you don't know, and when you're confused. There's a saying that nature hates a void, and the concept, when you don't know what to do, often you reset down into the lower structures, and that doesn't help us. We need to know what's going on and how to navigate life in a way where we're within our power.
Thank you very much for that answer.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have their last questions? And if not, we're going to wrap up. Rick, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, well, thank
We'll
you
see you
for
on
having
the,
me. Yeah.
you're going to
thank
be
you for
on
having
the
me.
recommended courses section in the Great Discovery. So it'll be coming up this week as well. So you'll see yourself up there, and you'll also be on Saturday's post of new content. Remember, guys, Discovery Saturday is this Saturday. Watch your email for tomorrow. It is a very special Discovery Saturday. Great day to bring in new people for the first hour of that. Second couple hours are going to be focused training on a lot of new, really great tools that are just released that have never been seen before. I think you guys will really enjoy this. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Okay. God
Bye,
bless.
everyone.